Thank you so much for joining in. I'm Oscar Blue for Real America's Voice News. God bless everybody that is watching. Thank you, and thank you for joining in. What a day today to remember. And this is a broadcast that particularly I am going to say, don't ever forget. And the world will never forget about October 7th, the most horrible attacks of terrorism, uh, horrible into Israel. Everybody, I hear the world, chanting from the river to the sea and all of this, but I do not hear absolutely the world today chanting specifically about Israel. Just there's no respect for these people. There's no respect for the people that they were assassinated, brutally assassinated on October 7th. There's no respect right now for the people that they are kidnapped still and being held hostage against their will by the terrorist organizations of Hamas and Hezbollah. But the only thing that I can tell you there is the only thing that I can tell you is that there's still this support against this brutal group. And it is disgusting. Really, it is disgusting. And the justification, continuous justification of this idea of occupied territory, occupied this, occupied that. It's just that has nothing to do, absolutely to do with these brutal attacks that happened on October 7th. Has nothing to do, absolute nothing to do with what happened on October 7th. I just got to say it like that. Have to say it like that. Thank you so much for joining in. Buy me a coffee. It is right there pinned in the chat. We are planning to get out in the next incoming weeks. We're planning to get out. We're moving possibly to borders with Mexico and the United States, or we are potentially trying to go to Israel again. I'm having volume problems right here. Let me just fix this microphone right here, because I'm having some problems with it. The live feed that is called don't ever forget October 7th, and don't ever forget the number one thing, that is, they are going to censor you. They are going to censor you. Before I go into this video that I am going to play, and before I put this person right here on the screen, if you are having lunch right now, and if you are having a beautiful dinner or a wonderful meal right now, I will recommend that you will stop eating, because possibly you're going to turn your stomach. And that's what it's going to happen. Thank you so much. Kawapong Eng, I don't even know your name. Says, dude, how much the Jews are paying you? Israel is not a country of Jews. It is a country where our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ was there in Nazareth, and also in Belen, and also in Jerusalem. Also, there is a country where it's full with population of Christians, Muslims also. If you do not know, there's Masjid Al-Aqsa, one of the most important masjids next to Mecca, that is in Israel. You have Muslims, you have Maronites, you have all types of people. First and foremost. Second of all, nobody's paying me. I work for 3 networks in the United States. Thank the Lord for that. And third of all, God bless you, man. God bless your dear heart. I will support everybody that is against terrorism and everything that is against Hamas and Hezbollah. Those are terrorist organizations, horrible terrorist organizations. And I will wear this hat, whatever you want to say about this hat. It is way better than flying a flag of Hamas and flying a flag of Hezbollah. That is satanic. That is the devil. That is Satan. I will prefer to wear this hat, that it was a gift when I was in Jerusalem in Israel, to wear this hat. I will prefer 1,000,000 times wearing this hat than be supporting Iran. Or be supporting Nasrallah, or be supporting Hamas, or be supporting Hezbollah. I will wear it 70 trillion times better than what you're supporting. God bless you, really. God bless you, man. Don't ever forget October 7th. These kind of individuals, they forgot about October 7th. They forgot about how this escalated in October 7th. No, everybody forgot, right? They forgot because what has happened in Gaza, what has been happening right now. I was recently in the borders with Lebanon. I was in Israel. And I saw how Hezbollah was brutally attacking Israel continuously. Let me tell you this. I was having a live feed in TikTok with my Spanish-speaking audience, and I had a lot of progressive liberals, a lot of progressive, pro-Palestine, pro-Hamas, pro-Hezbollah. And I just said one little question, and all of them, they got triggered. And they started talking about history, and and I just said, yes or no. Just tell me yes or no. It is kind of like when Charlie Kirk asked, what is a woman? It's kind of like that question that I'm asking to these progressive mercenary activist liberals, pro-Palestine, pro-Hamas, pro-Hezbollah. And I ask one question, and I would love to ask this guy one question. Let's say, in a hypothetical example, if the Iron Dome was not existent, there's two questions. Two questions. First one, if the Iron Dome was non-existent, will Israel still exist at this moment? Yes or no? More than 7,000 missiles, rockets, and drones since October 7th till now have been landed in the north part of Galilee. Almost more than 20,000 in a summary of all the missiles and drones into Israel since October 7th. So my question is, if the Iron Dome was non-existent, forget about the Iron Dome, will not exist, will you think that Israel will be existing at this moment? Will you think that Israel will exist at this moment? It's just a yes or no answer. That will tell you a lot. And by that, I will ask the same next question. It's a really easy question for these progressive mercenary liberals. It's a really easy question. Really easy. If there was a ceasefire, let's say, okay, ceasefire. Israel stops. All of a sudden, Israel says, okay, we will cease fire. That's it. We're done. We're done. Ceasefire. My next question to you is, will Hamas and Hezbollah also will cease fire? Yes or no? When you answer me that question, you will know what the whole purpose of Hamas and Hezbollah and all of you liberals is. The answer for you, and before you put this right here, 6 million. 6 million. All right. You're 6 million. I don't know where you're getting that number, but I'll put your name on right here on the screen. I don't want to put you on the spot, but whatever your name is, brother, I'm asking you this question. Yes or no? It is a yes or no question. It's a yes or no answer. If Israel would cease fire, will Hamas and Hezbollah will cease fire also? Yes or no? And try to be honest about it. Try to be honest about it. I will wait for your answer, because that's the whole purpose. The whole purpose of Hamas and Hezbollah, and also Hezbollah has said it multiple times, and also Iran has said it multiple times. Okay, this is where I'm going. You don't have an answer. Where are you? Right here. You don't have an answer. You don't have an answer. It exists. So for you, it does not exist. This is where you're going. So whether you like it or not, it exists. You know, whether you like it or not, God exists. Whether you like it or not, the devil exists. And I agree, you know, whatever you're saying, all the other things. I'm asking you a simple question. It is a yes or no answer. These are liberals. This is how you progressive liberals, they do not like to be tested. So I'm asking you a question. If Israel, okay, the aggressor, as you're saying, he's the aggressor. All right, he's the aggressor. After October 7th, he's the aggressor. If Israel will cease fire, will Hamas and Hezbollah also cease fire? It's a yes or no answer. I'm just saying. Let's just say there's hypothetical example. Give me an answer. If Israel will cease fire, will Hamas and Hezbollah stop also? Yes or no? Yes or no? This is your answer. I hope they don't cease fire. I hope that who doesn't cease fire? You're not giving me an answer. And this is the problem. That the ones that they support Hamas and Hezbollah, they want the complete eradication of Israel. They want the complete eradication of Israel. And you're not going to give me the answer because that is what you want. You, all of these people, they're extremely full with hatred. That is what they are. I have been covering the war 2 times. I went over there with open-minded. I went over there to just see. I went over there with the heart to see what is going on. I went to Esdras, really close the first time, a month after the October 7 attacks. It was bad. It was BOMB after BOMB. Drop from both sides. Alerts from both sides. It was bad. Then I went again just a month ago to the north part of Galilee, where it's getting attacked brutally by Hezbollah. You guys saw the 881 ballistic missiles just a couple of days ago. And then a couple of days ago, also 200 rockets came in. Just as normal as possible. For them, it's the day as normal as they can be. But this is what I want to ask you. And this is the answer that you cannot give me. Because all of you progressive liberals, all of you want the complete destruction of Israel. That is what you want. That is the only thing that you want. That is the only thing that you want. Nothing else. You don't want nothing else. You want the complete destruction of Israel. And in that particular place, you have Christians, you have Muslims, you have also Jews, you have all types of people in that particular place. And the only thing that you want, it is the destruction of that country. That is what you want. And if you are an America First nationalist, you're an America First nationalist, right? So you will prefer for me to wear this hat, right? I'm asking you a question. It's a yes or no answer. So if you want me to take this off, you will prefer to wear this, right? Because you're saying, I'm not a liberal. I'm an American First nationalist. So I'm just testing you right now. You will prefer that I wear this hat, right? Because this is an America First hat, right? You will not have an issue. You will not have an issue. And you're having an issue. You liberals. Oh, my God. I so like to expose you, man. That's it. Have a blessed day, brother. You are not an America First nationalist. Get out of here, man. How's everybody doing? Thank you so much for joining in. I'm Oscar Blue for Real America's Voice News. God bless your dear hearts, everybody that is watching. Thank you so much. This is funny. These people try to play they try to play the nationalist card. So they will have the justification to say, oh, look, they are supporting Israel, but they're not supporting America first. They know how to manipulate, both sides. So that's how liberals are, man. That's how progressive liberals are. And let me just put another liberal. As I was going, for people that are watching, if you're having lunch right now, buy me a coffee. It's right there, pinned in the chat for people that are watching. Thank you so much. God bless your dear hearts. But ultimately, if you're having lunch or you're having, some kind of a snack, if you're having a good time right now, and if you're having the time to watch me, I will prefer that you guys, uh, leave that food on the side because you're about to possibly, have a stomach ache or something, that is going to hurt your stomach. So this, my God, Jesus. Where's the trash can? So, they are going to censor you in the next incoming days. I had a live yesterday. In the live yesterday, I was talking about that one of the things that is going to progressively happen, it is they are going to censor the networks that they are streaming. Networks that they use streaming platforms as Rumble, as Apple TV, as Roku. They are going to censor all these people. They are. Those are the platforms that they are progressively, and now they have defeated this MSNBC disgusting fake news media. Not worth at all watching. But this is what I'm going, and this is where I'm going with Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton, it is obviously projecting that, the opposition, Donald Trump, is a dictator. She's actually projecting herself as a dictator and as an extreme imperialist, leftist imperialist. One of the things that I told you guys yesterday about the Communist Manifesto of Karl Marx, the 10 steps to be a socialist country is to have complete control of the communications factor. Right now, for them, it got out of hand. The truth, it is spread all over social media. And if they are not agreeing with it, they will label you as misinformation, fact check you, and label you also as fearmonger, creating hysteria, conspiracy theories, white supremacists, xenophobic, transphobic, homophobic, pronophobic, fatphobic, racist, fascist, narcissism, bigot, and Zionist. That's another one, from the river to the sea and all this kind of stuff. So they will label you as that because the mainstream media, it is being defeated horribly. Nobody watches MSNBC. Nobody cares about CNN. Nobody cares about Telemundo, all these other networks. They are not watching them anymore. They're watching Tim Pool. They're watching all these other platforms where they are Tucker Carlson. They're watching all these people where they are spreading and they are giving out information that is accurate and correct. That is what they're doing. First and foremost, MSNBC, list statements are your First Amendment. It is a complete attack to your First Amendment. And this is what they are trying, and they will try to do. This is why I told you guys yesterday, the Mexican president, the new Mexican president, Claudia Sheinbaum, came out in her morning conferences. She's a leftist. She's a progressive liberal. Came out on her morning conferences and said this: in my morning conferences every day, we will have topics to discuss. And this is one of the topics. And one of the topics is disinformation, fake news. So what they're going to do, because they're left, they're going to progressively attack the conservative right or the Christian right or the independents, which they are not agreeing with them. They're going to label them, put them on a screen on everybody's television, and then they're going to get brutally attacked. Those journalists are going to be in danger. Their life, it is going to be in danger, and they're going to be censored because, the president, it is just spreading what it is. It is exactly the tactic that Nicolás Maduro, dictator in Venezuela, uses every single morning conference. It is exactly also what Ortega, dictator in Nicaragua, it is using also. It is exactly what Lula in Brazil, it is doing. It is exactly what all these progressive liberals are doing consistently. What it is going to happen if the United States has the Democratic Party winning this next election? God forbid. God forbid that. God, please forbid. But what will happen? What will happen? Take a listen to this clip, and this will tell you what it is going to happen. It is so profoundly concerning. This is extremely concerning. Extremely concerning. This is something that you guys should be extremely worried about. This is something that you guys should put attention to. Let me play this clip, and you guys are going to realize how aggressive this clip is. Watch out. Just listen.
Speaking of dictators, the Justice Department and the State Department have taken a number of actions in the past several weeks, striking actions to both call out and indict and take action against the Kremlin for their attempts at interfering in yet another presidential election cycle on Trump's behalf. The State Department has put out a $10 million reward for information leading to for information about people who are about entities that are trying to illegally interfere in our election. We've seen these dramatic indictments from the Justice Department, including for paying millions of dollars, the Kremlin paying millions of dollars to pro-Trump influencers. We've seen the Justice Department seize web domains where the Kremlin had set up news sites, what looked like news sites, looked like versions of American news sites, but were secretly operated by the Russian intelligence services or by the Russian government. You feel like the U.S. government is sort of starting to figure out how to do this and taking this seriously enough, or do you still think there's a far distance to go?
Hi, my name is Ashley, and you can create speaking AI videos just like this and make their lips.
I think there's a far distance to go. I applaud the actions taken by the Justice Department and the State Department. I think that they're very important. But truly, we are just at the beginning of uncovering everything that Russia, but not just Russia, other countries have done and are doing to influence our election. If you focus on Russia, and I commend you, Rachel, for your new movie, because we are only at the beginning of understanding the whole iceberg here. What the Russians started doing in 2015 and 2016, what they continued doing, they've gotten more sophisticated. They aren't even pretending anymore. Their international news operation, Russia Today, RT, is an arm of the Russian government, an arm of its intelligence operation. It's basically an extension of their spying efforts. They are using Americans, both those who are witting and willing, and those who are unwitting, and are just so surprised. They're getting, $400,000 a week or $100,000 a podcast.
You have to be kidding me. 400,000? Jeez, man. Hey, cut me a check. 400,000. You have to be a podcast. 400,000. 400. You have to be. Gee. Oh my God. I want to say hello to somebody real. God bless your dear heart. Justin Aker, hard to listen to it, but it's very important to know what they're up to. God bless your dear heart. Send you a big hug. God bless your dear heart. My God. Let me go again and play this. But this is where it gets extremely interesting. This is where your mind completely goes to the next phase, or of where the Democrats are going to take this. And to all the people that they're listening, that they use these kind of streaming, like me, I use Facebook, I use YouTube, and I also use X. Possibly there's going to be only one platform that we're going to be allowed, that is well known, to have freedom of speech, and that possibly is going to be X. Nowhere else. The other ones are going to have power, but not as X. Look at what she is going to say here. This is the most aggressive thing that, the Marxists and the Democrats are going to do to you, to your First Amendment.
To parrot Kremlin propaganda. And we know from what even Republicans have said, the chairs of the Intelligence Committee and the, Foreign Affairs Committee and other Republicans who are currently in office have said that Republicans go to the floor of the Congress and they parrot Russian talking points. So I think it's important to indict the Russians, just as Mueller indicted a lot of Russians who were engaged in direct election interference and boosting Trump back in 2016. But I also think there are Americans who are engaged in this kind of propaganda.
What? Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. And listen next. Just listen next.
And whether they should be civilly or even in some cases criminally charged.
Whoa, whoa. Americans should be civilly or criminally charged for communicating on social media.
Is something that would be a better deterrence, because the Russian.
Wow. A better deterrent. They're not even lying to you anymore. They're not even lying to you anymore. They're telling you in your face that they are going to create a deterrent to censor you and to criminally go after you. Let me just tell you who is doing this right now. Dictator Nicolás Maduro. He is doing it in Venezuela, where every single journalist that is not agreeing with the dictator and all the mercenary dictators who are running that country, they are being prosecuted, indicted, incriminated, incarcerated, and sadly tortured. This goes for all of you Americans. This is what's coming. And I told you guys yesterday, this is going to progressively grow. Remember, yesterday I had a podcast around an hour and 30 some minutes. I went off. And I told you guys, this is what I believe. They're going to manipulate the communications. They're going to progressively create something that they're going to have authority, like an authoritarian, to basically prosecute, incriminate, and go after the freedom of speech. This basically tells you what they are going to do. Let me just return back just a little bit so you guys can hear it again. And after you guys hear it again, take it in your own thoughts and understand and sink it in, America. Sink it in. I'm just telling you. This it is something that it was bound to happen. And a lot of people have been their platform censored. This is why Mark Zuckerberg right now wants to come out as a libertarian. He knows the fight that is going to happen. There's a possibility that Donald Trump is going to win. So he is basically coming out as a libertarian. He can swing right. He can swing left. He cannot swing to one side, more further than the other one. So he knows that consequences are going to come to him in the next incoming month. But this is basically what it is going to happen to you, America. This is what they're coming after. One narrative, one political party, one side only. Again, I will play this for you.
So I think it's important to indict the Russians, just as Mueller indicted a lot of Russians who were engaged in direct election interference and boosting Trump back in 2016. But I also think there are Americans who are engaged in this kind of propaganda. And whether they should be civilly or even in some cases criminally charged is something that would be a better deterrence, because the Russians are unlikely, except in a very few cases, to ever stand trial in the United States. They're not going to be going to a country where they can be extradited or even returning to the United States unless they are very foolish. So I think we need to uncover all of the connections and make it very clear that you could vote however you want, but we are not going to let adversaries, whether it is Russia, China, Iran, or anybody else, basically try to influence Americans as to how we should vote in picking our leaders.
Woo! Ish. So they're coming. That's an absolute fact. And I will tell you why they're coming. And the number one reason why they are coming, it is because they know they're losing. And they need to manipulate social media. And they need to manipulate the mainstream media. It's already been manipulated, but they need to manipulate now the other side of information, which is social media. So they need to manipulate that. They need to have control of that. And that actually happened under the Biden administration. A lot of people were canceled in this cancel culture. The GoFundMes, a lot of them, they were taken away. Millions of dollars. A lot of platforms with more than 100,000 followers, more than 150,000 followers. These are reasonable platforms. If you have 50, 60, they're small platforms. More than 100,000, that's a reasonable platform to be concerned about. These are platforms that they were censored. Now they know that they could not do that strongly as they wanted to. And information was getting out whether you like it or not. And whether did you agree with it or not. And this is the other phase. The other phase, it is, we're coming after you if you criticize us. If you're against what we're saying, and if you are going to be posting against our political candidates, our people, and specifically the Democrats, the progressives, we're going to come after you. I have my theory on illegal migration, how the Democratic Party and the globalists are using our people. And I said this to the Epoch Times when I had an interview with them. They asked me, what are your thoughts of why they're doing this? Mass migration, the global compact on migration and all this. First and foremost is to destabilize every border and to basically globalize the borders and to the UN to have control under the humanitarian wing and to profit out of it. At the same time, profit to make millions out of it, like every NGO is making out of federal grants. But in the further case of the United States of America, they come to this idea of the replacement theory. That is not a theory anymore. It is a reality. It is not to replace the white man. It is not to replace the black man. For me, it's not to replace no race. For me, it is to replace a political party. And that political party, if this continues like this, it is going to be the Republicans. That political party, 15 to 20 years from now, if this continues, this open borders continue like this, and the Agenda 2030 after 2030, that political party, it is going to have a hard time to come back. This actually happened in Cuba. There's only one political party. This actually happened in Venezuela. There's only one political party, and it's being in the opposition. It is infiltrated, and it's a charade what they do. This happened also in Russia. This happens in different countries. It has happened in different countries, in China. And what the United States is doing, it is a copy paste of what China is doing, but in a capitalist / manner. If you understand where this mass migration is taken, if you go 20 years from now, reproduction is going to happen. Reproduce. More people are going to be born. Absolutely, more people are going to grow in the country of the United States. And they are going to lean to one political side. That is the Democrats, the ones that they let them in after they get infiltrated in their mind and indoctrinated to make them think that the Republicans are trash and the Republicans are racist and the Republicans are this. The level of decades that they are going to handle and have control of, it is going to be so many that for the Republicans to win another election and to have democracy in the United States of America, a word that they use so much, it is going to be so hard and it is going to be so difficult because the vote, it is going to be overruled. This is why they want for people that they are undocumented in the United States of America to vote. So they will have the majority and the political party will grow into this new globalist idea, the new generation, the new ideology of the 2030 agenda. Forget about Project 2025. This is about the 2030 agenda. A political party will be destitute. A political party will be removed from the United States if this continues at this fast pace. And there's not going to be no democracy. There's not going to be no fairness in elections. This is my theory. And it is not a theory. It is going to be applicable. And I'm telling you what's coming. And it is going to be, sadly, a reality if this continues. This is why they need to manipulate communications. This is why you need to manipulate voters. This is why you have to have, the Justice Department under control. This is why you have the judicial system. This is why you have to have little by little Congress. You have to have it under control. Senate. You have to have the uniparty, like that. This is why. It's a Marxist, clear Marxist strategy. You divide, you conquer. And they have divided that country of the United States of America. The United States of America, it is divided right now. And they're trying to bring it back together again. They're trying to put all the pieces of the puzzle together to have that country on track to where their purpose and their goals from 10 to 20, 30 to 40 years, what are we going to do and how much we are going to grow? They do not want that purpose, and they do not want the American values. As a matter of fact, it's not going to be that far where they are going, if they stay in government, they are going to try to change the Constitution. And they already have tried. And they already have, send a little left hook or right hook, They have said, little statements like that on social media, on mainstream media. Our Constitution is pretty old. So they're talking to the new people, Our Constitution is pretty old. It paraphrases a lot. We need to simplify our Constitution. They have said so many times what they want and what they are going to do. This is the reason why. we need to be careful. A lot of people are misinterpreting what I'm saying. I see you are speaking as if they are going to win. They are not going to win. This is what the number one reason why the last election, why you guys lost. This is the reason why. Americans got comfortable. Americans became passive. I am not going to be gentle with these liberals. I am not going to be passive with these progressive mercenary liberals. We cannot be gentle and we cannot be passive. And to sit down in our seat and be comfortable, it was the biggest mistake that the past administration made with their own people. Do you guys remember in the 2020 elections? You guys remember this phrase? And I'm going to quote this phrase just to you, Miss Lorena. I'm going to quote this phrase. Trump is going to win by a landslide. You guys remember that? And everybody, this is why somebody's saying they're not liberals, Oscar. They're totalitarian. They're progressive mercenary liberals. Everybody got comfortable. Everybody was like, yeah, he's going to win by a landslide. We got this. There's no way, that we are going to lose. We got this we got this. There's no way. There's no possibility whatsoever that this old fossil, it is going to win over Trump. There's no possibility. There's no way whatsoever. What happened? What happened? You cannot be comfortable at this point. This month, it is going to be really critical for you guys. Extremely critical. And this is going to progressively escalate. They're going to attack now social media, mainstream media. They're going to attack the media communications because they know that those are the outlets that they're going to basically, defame these people and expose these people. And they don't want that. They don't want that at all. Oscar, how many do you think notice that she says Russia? It sounds all this about Russia makes it look like it's not even about Americans. It hasn't and never has been. Look what is happening to Hurricane Helena. It is not about Americans. Didn't just Kamala Harris said that, Americans do not save money and they're not prepared for natural disasters. So hold on a minute. So Ukrainians, or the people that they're funding these wars, are they prepared? Or for the border, were you prepared? Because you're sending billions of dollars for that. But when your own people are suffering, and when your own people are going through this harsh time, they're not prepared. Your economy does not give them a time to prepare. Your gas prices does not give these people to have a savings account. Your food prices does not give these people to have a weekend at a movie theater. Your rent prices does not give these people a possibility to save some money to take out the family. And you're talking about, you have the audacity to come out and say they're not prepared economically, financially. These Americans in North Carolina, in the places that the hurricane hit, they're not prepared. Wow. After you're seeing how your economy is a complete disgusting disaster. It's a complete disaster. Your economy is a complete disaster. And you're telling me that you're not prepared. how they're going to be prepared, Kamala, if they don't even have money to save for their own people, for their own family. Americans are having a hard time right now. It's not easy. They're working 2 to 3 jobs. They owe a lot of money to the car agency, mortgage, having a hard time to put food on the table. Everything is way expensive. You're taxing the hell out of your people. But you're creating jobs. These jobs that they are supposedly affordable jobs for them to pay the debt that you're causing. And you're sending billions to Ukraine, billions to the border, billions to the war in Israel. But your own people are having a horrible time. It's a disaster. This is something that I wanted to put for you people to understand. For people that they're managing social media, for people that they're actually going on mainstream media and doing all this kind of stuff, I'm having a hard time with this microphone. I apologize. I'm working on saving money to put a podcast studio, to have 2 microphones, and I want to have somebody that is invited, but I need for equipment. So buy me a coffee. It is right there, pinned in the chat. For people that want to contribute to my independent reporting and travel fund, I'm saving up also money to remodel and get a nice studio, a couple of seats, a table, a couple of cameras, and do a program in a specific hour and a specific time, and have invited people into the program and get them over here. In one way, if they want to come, they can fly over here, and I can have a place, sit down, talk. But we need the equipment. So as I have money, we have been saving money. And also we had a blessing of a contribution for us to move for our next trip. But we are certainly want to save up to have this podcast studio also ultimately to work on that in the next incoming weeks. And I'm having this problem. So I apologize if I move the microphone a lot from one side to another. It's just the volume goes up and then it goes down. The volume goes up and then it goes down. So it's just, and you can actually see it right here on the volume. Buy me a coffee. It's been there on the chat. I will accept some questions, some Q&A for people that are right here on the chat. As I just said right now, they're coming for your freedom of speech. They're coming for your First Amendment. They already are, man. They already are on a driving 55 on a 25. They really are doing that. They're high-speed chasing all your freedom of speech. And Hillary just said that in MSNBC. Some Americans, they're complicit about this. They're getting $400,000 of pay. You have to be kidding me, man. This woman actually said that social media influencers, they're getting $400,000 a podcast. You have to be kidding me with this. That is a complete lie about it. I wish that she can prove it, so I can shut my mouth and say, oh, you know what? She was right. These people, I don't know who they are, but they're rich because they're getting a $400,000 a podcast. Man, I can't even get a microphone. And these people are getting $400,000. You got to be kidding me. Who are these people, man? It's just unbelievable the way they lie and the way that they're going to come after you. If you guys do not take this seriously in this month, it is not a time to be patient. No, it's not a time to be passive. And it is not a time to be gentle with these liberals, progressive, mercenary people. Oscar, can you post a list exactly of what equipment you need? Yes, absolutely. Later on, I will give a list. Talk to you later. Thank you so much. God bless your dear heart. Thank you. I have an idea of how I want to settle the room, and I want you need to close the noise and put some stuff. And so I have the lights, I have cameras, but I don't have. I need a couple of cameras, and I need the microphones, the seats, and another camera. It's a little bit. God bless you guys. Ask for my studio. Hillary just said I can do a podcast, man. Just 400,000. That would be great. It's just, geez, man, my God, man, Hillary. Oh my God. Let's see here. Oscar, have you thought about caps or coffee mugs with your brand? It could help podcasts financially. Yes, as soon as I get it going, as soon as I have the equipment, I am going to start doing like looking for sponsors, also doing like info commercials for people that they want to sponsor the show. And I want to have a stable show to talk about this, politics, and also discuss a few things, and have people to come into the podcast and talk about it, and sit down and really talk about these issues and air these shows at a specific time and order. This is what I'm going to do, and have these people to come in and say like, hey, man, I respect you, man. What you have done, I want to do it. So I really want to have that. Sean Ryan has been one of the inspirational people that I respect. He has a beautiful podcast. I respect that a lot. And also I love the way that he has, that he's extremely prepared. Sean Ryan, he has an envelope with all the information of the individual that he's going to interview. I love that, man. That I love the way that, that he presents himself like that. And I absolutely love that, the way that he presents himself, the way that he has his whole setup. I really love that. There's a comment right here. You don't need fancy stuff, Oscar. There's more important stuff to get right now. I don't have fancy stuff. I've never been a guy that has fancy stuff. You're mistaking me with somebody else. God bless you all. Listen to your comments right here. Oscar, are you going to be a guest on other channels? That will be great. Yes, they have asked me a lot to go on these podcasts, and also to appear on a lot of places. And I want to, I have a couple of people that they are going to catch a lot of attention in these podcasts. As soon as I create my studio, I will tell you which are the guests for the month or for the next appearances in the show, right? So I want to get all types of people, professional fighters, what is their take on politics, UFC fighters, artists, singers, whatever it is. We can talk about it, and sit down and talk about it. Get a 45-minute and an hour show and sit down and talk about these questions and ask them like specific things that we have seen. Hopefully, yes. Eric, how you doing, man? Oscar, when will you be back with Chuck Holton? I'm hoping that he finishes something that he's doing over there in Jordan right now. As soon as he finished that, he said that he is going to call me. So I am waiting on him. I'm on call, man, with him. So we already had a conversation about 4 days ago. And I asked him, like, hey, what's the next move? Israel. He said he has a bunch of places, but Israel is one of them. Ukraine is another one. Also, a couple of places that we want to go. Armenia was one of them, but he already went over there. But he wants to go to a couple of places. And and go around with him. I love to travel with him, man. He's my mentor. He's my friend. He's my brother. He's the best guy that I like to be around with. Also, my brother Ben and my brother Matthew Tomlin. Those three, I love to be around them, man. They're incredible people. And that's that's one of the things that I'm planning to do that. I heard they killed a mayor in Mexico that just got in and beheaded. Let me just go right here. Hold on. I got that news for you. And that is in our website. Okay. Moreno Autoridad Nacional. Yes, right here. Let me just put it on screen for you to see that. Lori Ackerman. Yes, that happened today. If you can go to our website, it is going to be translated later on today. So you have it right here. Let me read it for you, and let me just try to translate for you guys to understand. Decapitated Mexican mayor that only had 6 days in charge. The victim of this brutal assassination, his name is Alejandro Arcos, of 43 years of age. My God, he's my age. Wow, he's my age. Which he was 6 days. He assumed the charge. He assumed the position of mayor of Chilpancingo, the second city of the state of Guerrero. Guerrero is one of the most dangerous cartel places in Mexico. You have a lot of migrants which they are leaving now the state of Guerrero. And basically, this has been an extremely dangerous place. So it says that Arcos was concentrated to attend the critical damages caused by the Hurricane John, which led massive floodings in the zone. This Sunday, 6th of October, a brutal and scary assassination occurred that basically shook the country of Mexico. Alejandro Arcos Catalan, the mayor of Chilpancingo, capital of Guerrero, was decapitated 6 days after he took possession of charge. The authorities, they are investigating at this moment of this atrocious attack that happened in Chilpancingo, Guerrero. So, yes, this is the guy, sadly, 43 years of age. Rest in peace. You can find this article in our website. It's Oscar Blue Ramirez News. Find this article in our website right here. In our website. You can see right here, Oscar El Blue Ramirez News is on top. You can find it in our website right there. Pin in our website. Thank you so much for joining in. One more comment people want to say before we take a minute of silence for the October 7th. People who pass away. Let me just right here. Later on, I will get a person that helps me with all of this. Oscar, do you have a design for your brand? Yes, I do. It's be neat to submit ideas, and you can choose the one unless you have it on one. I already have it already. But thank you so much. God bless you. A minute of silence for the people today. Today is October 7th. Anniversary, sad anniversary of what happened in Israel. Completely horrible attacks that happened in Israel through these terrorist organizations. And still, you have 100 people that they're kidnapped. You don't know if they're alive or they're dead. As the war continues 1 year, and now the war has escalated in the parts of Lebanon with Israel. A minute of silence for the people that they have lost their lives, and that they lost their lives in October 7th. Rest in peace, all the people that they were brutally taken away by these horrible, evil demons as Hamas and Hezbollah, terrorist organizations. God bless you all. Stay safe. Thank you so much for joining in. This has been a broadcast by Oscar L. Blue. You can donate to and contribute to our independent reporting and travel fund in our Buy Me a Coffee right there. And I forgot to read this before we go. So I will give the audience the authority to have this. The audience, if you can give me a number between 1 and 5, which number will you give me? Majority of people said number 3. Let's go with number 3. One, two, three. Chronicles. Wow. Look at this. Chronicles. David's charge to Israel. How crazy that is. Talking about Israel. And I open the Bible till number 3. And it gives me Chronicles 28, page 444. David's charge to Israel. Isn't that crazy? David assembled at Jerusalem all the officials of Israel, the officials of the tribes, the officers of the divisions that served the king, the commanders of thousands, the commanders of hundreds, the stewardess of all the property and livestock of the king, and his sons, together with the palace officials, the mighty men, and all the seasoned warriors. The King David rose to his feet and said, "Hear me, my brothers and my people. I had it in my heart to build a house of rest for the ark of the covenant of the Lord and for the footstool of our God, and I made preparations for building. But God said to me, You may not build a house for my name, for you are a man of war and have shed blood. Yet the Lord God of Israel chose me from all my father's house to be king over Israel forever. For he chose Judah as leader, and in the house of Judah, my father's house, and among my father's sons, he took pleasure in me to make me king over all Israel. And all of my sons, for the Lord has given me many sons, he has chosen Solomon, my son, to sit on the throne of the kingdom of the Lord over Israel. He said to me, It is Solomon, your son, who shall build my house and my courts, for I have chosen him to be my son, and I will be his father. I will establish his kingdom forever if he continues strong in keeping my commandments and my rules as he is today. Now, therefore, in the light and in the sight of all Israel, the assembly of the Lord, and in the hearing of our God, observe and seek out all of the commandments of the Lord, your God, that you may possess this godly land and leave it for an inheritance to your children after you forever. God works in mysterious ways. This was really mysterious. Lord, you work in mysterious ways. Stay safe. God bless you all. Thank you so much for joining in. It has been a pleasure to talk to you guys. Be sure to be watching. And we will be back tomorrow. God bless you all. And like we always say, God's plan, it is our mission.